What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Bird's Eye View. I'm your host, the one and only Erica Bird McCaw, because my last name is McCaw. And my guests here, they too have a nickname, and we'll ask them later as to why they got their nickname. I know when everybody comes up to me, they asking me, hey, how'd you get the name Bird? And everyone's thinking because I'm flying in the sky, I fly for rebounds. No, it's just my last name. So it's simple as that. But welcome back to another episode, y'all. If you guys do not know me, I'm just finished 5 years of playing professional basketball. My guest here, we're the same class. She's my 2017 sister. Yes, sir. So we've been balling for the same amount of years. I'm so grateful to have her on as a guest. It's going to be a super fun show. We're going to talk a little bit about college to the WNBA overseas. It's going to be dope. It's going to be fun. For those who don't know why I started this podcast, I'm just here to educate y'all. I'm here to educate y'all on what us female athletes go through as professionals. We got some highs, we got some lows, we got some funs, we got some tears. And I've been to the tears, y'all. But today we're going to try to focus mostly on the fun stuff. Man, if you guys do not know, I am in Arizona. It's freaking hot. It's 114 degrees. You know Sydney lives here, Slim.
Yeah.
You know she lives here, and she did not warn me of this heat.
I'm sorry, I live here too, so I apologize.
It is extremely hot, and she did not. And she was like, I was like, Sydney, but there's storms. It was pouring last night. She's like, my bad. I forgot to tell you about the storms. Yeah, I would have liked to know that. I just got my car washed. So anyways, Arizona it's quite an experience, but I'm loving it. I gave it away. We got Brittney Sykes here as the guest. But I called you Slim. If you didn't know what her nickname was, now you know. Brittney, are you comfortable with me calling you Slim? Brittney, what's up?
Whatever comes to mind, as long as it flow, we good.
Okay, say less. You can call me Bird or Erica, whatever comes to mind. My mom calls me Erica. Everybody else calls me Bird. So
I feel you.
So yeah, does your mom call you Brittney or she call you Slim?
I mean, she calls me like one of her nicknames. I cannot give that away because
okay,
but
that's an archive.
She has like her like pet name for me that she calls me. Yeah, she only the first name, like when she needs my attention, she'll be like, Brittney. Oh.
Okay. That's how you know. Yeah, I feel like that's what my mom. Yeah, that's my mom too. Yeah, if I hear Erica, like I know I done something wrong. Isn't it crazy how we still get in trouble like at our old age? I'm 26. How are you? 27?
I'm 28.
28.
Yeah.
I'm young for my class. Yeah, that's true. Well, Brittney, Slim, I don't like calling you Brittney. I know I sound like your mama.
it takes a certain person, like it rolls off the tongue. But when people in this league even hear Sykes, they be like, Sykes, who that? I'm like, huh? Like it's me.
And you know what? We're just gonna put Slim on the back of the jersey now.
No, that's what it's gonna be. At this point, I'm trying to get the world to like slowly conform to like just Slim.
I like that. It's easy, it's smooth, it's silky. Slim. Well, welcome, Slim. Welcome on to the podcast.
Thank you. I like it.
Absolutely. Well, let me hype you up. Let me read your bio. Like I told my last guest, I bring the heavy hitters. So your girl Sabria told me I didn't have enough people coming from the East Coast. I was getting too many West Coast people. So hey, I got the perfect person for you. Come on, bring on the show then. So I gotta hype you up. You're the East Coast. Let me hype up the East real quick.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right, here we go. Slim, like I said, she was drafted to the Atlanta Dream in 2017. So we are draft sisters. Okay. She played for the Dream and is currently playing for the Los Angeles Sparks, my personal favorite team. I won't deny it. Sparks is always my favorite team. So I'm rooting for y'all. In 2017, she was named to the WNBA All-Rookie team. That's super dope because I struggled my rookie year. So shout out to you.
We all did in our own way, man.
Facts. She was all-defensive second team in 2020, all-defensive first team in 2021 when she led the league for most steals. And at Syracuse, she participated at the Final Four in 2016, correct?
Yep, me and Sid.
Yes, sir. That's right. Y'all battled together. I was right there. I was at the Elite Eight. Gosh darn it, I'm so mad. We still.
Sid had UConn. I had Kelsey Plum. Yeah, I saw Kelsey in the Final Four.
That's right.
Yeah.
You guys went to the championship the other year, so tough.
Yeah, you feel me? I be having to remind people that, you know what I mean? Because they be like, oh, yeah, y'all went to the Final Four. I'm like, nah, we was the last game on college television. Like,
Remind
the
them.
absolute last game.
Remind them.
Win, lose, draw. We was there.
Big difference from going to the Final Four because only four teams go to the Final Four, but only two teams go to championships. So remind them.
Hey, I'm trying to put some respect on the fact that we went to the national championship. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
It's not an easy feat.
It's not. It is not. So shout out to y'all. Big kudos because I couldn't do it. I only was at Final Four. So I know how hard it is. So big ups to y'all. And y'all, when she left Syracuse, she left as the winningest women's basketball player. Such an interesting word, winningest. But that's you. You did it.
I didn't even know that was a word until they hit me with it. I was like, oh, that's me? Say less.
We'll take it.
I'll take it.
Hey, that's dope. And because we're an all-inclusive podcast, we talk about overseas. She's played in Israel, Turkey, Spain, and most recently Australia, where she was named first team WNBL, which is the Australian League, and Defensive Player of the Year. Yes, sir. We got a heavy hitter on the podcast. Everyone welcome Brittney Sykes, aka Slim.
Indeed.
That's a very dope bio. That's
I appreciate that. Like that was dope. Like, you know, never really have time to like sit back and really, you know, like think about the things you've accomplished, whether it's like small or big. So it's like, even to have like this little moment, it's like, dang, okay.
I'm here to give y'all flowers. Y'all deserve it.
Yeah, we got to sit still for a second.
That's what I'm saying. That's beautiful. I don't think in our generation, we're not used to sitting still. Even when I have a day off, I'm like stir crazy. I'm like, dang, like.
You want to go do something.
Exactly. Just a moment to sit still, appreciate who you are, what you done, and just relax. I love it. It's out to you.
Man.
All the flowers. What's your favorite flower?
Man, you know, I actually just got into flowers. I ain't gonna lie, I just got into flowers. I probably have to say, I got some dogwood flowers tatted on me, but I'm not gonna hold you. Lilies is actually pretty eye catching for me. Like, I like lilies.
Well, all the lilies for you.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. Well, Slim is
come around the corner.
Yeah, I wish I would have. Maybe the next time I'll see you, I'll have some lilies in hand, and we'll have a moment. Well, Slim, it's time for the game portion of the show where I get you a little loosey-goosey, for the interview. So because you are a defensive player of the year, because you are leading the league in steals right now, this game is titled no other than Cookies.
All right, let's see how we think.
All right. First question. Who was your favorite defensive player growing up?
Oh, man. Catch.
Ooh, great answer, Slim. Yes. Tamika Catchment. Yes.
Like, I just remember so vividly that run when they went to the championship. It was in 12.
Yep.
Yeah, like that run. Like, I just remember her being a menace on defense. Like, she was killing them at the elbow, hitting the jumpers. But then it's like on defense, she was just ripping the poke here, steal here, rebound here. And I'm like, man, okay. Like, that's how you play, that type of tenacity. That's not coached. That's not, you don't wake up like you want that. You've seen it, you felt it, you tasted it, and you wanted more of it. So it's like, you want to do whatever.
Yeah, she played like that every time she hit and when she practiced, like when I'm hearing stories, like I came the year after, I'm so disappointed. I came the year after Catch retired. And the stories I heard, like, like Catch, like she was like she just wasn't like that for one game. Like this was her every single game, every single practice. And she demanded that from her teammates, which is why they won the championship that year.
Yeah.
So shout out to Catch. I love that answer. Wow, I wasn't expecting that, but brilliant answer. Brilliant. That means she knows her game, y'all. I always preach this. If there's any young people listening to the show, I'm like, pay attention to the generation before us. Like, you gotta watch like who was before us, because that's gonna help guide you to what you're trying to do in the league. So you gotta know. Kudos to you for knowing that. Ah, beautiful. I love it. Okay, this is a serious question. Are you ready?
Okay.
What's your favorite cookie?
Ah! Oh man, it's a toss up. But if I had to choose, I'd probably say oatmeal raisins like undefeated for me.
Okay, oatmeal raisin. I wasn't expecting that. That's an old lady cookie.
I'm an old soul.
Okay.
So see, I saw your face. She was like, I'm an old soul. I'm an old head. If you don't know, like I'm an old head. Very much so. Like I'm listening to 60s through the 90s, R&B, rap. Like it don't matter. You know what I mean? So of course my cookie choice would follow oatmeal raisin, and I have a nut allergy, so that also knocks out a lot of cookie choices. That does. You know what I mean? So oatmeal raisin is very safe. It's oats and raisins.
I think it's just the raisins that give me. I think I can just do an oatmeal cookie, but I'm not a big raisin. What about oatmeal cranberry? I don't like berries. I know. I don't like strawberries. Any type of berry.
That was live. That reaction was very live.
Thanks, Lim. You revealing my secrets. Not everybody needs to know that. I don't like. They're gonna attack me on Twitter now, talking about you. You don't like berries? I know. And they just taste sour to me. It tastes like sour.
I like sour fruit.
There you go. I'm like a nice mellow, like I like melons, cantaloupes.
Okay. That's auntie vibes, but we're not gonna go there. All right.
Next question, because now we're getting on me.
All right, my fault. Go ahead.
Okay. Do you prefer blocking shots or getting steals?
Oh man. That's hard.
As a shot blocker, the hype that you get from blocking a shot, especially if it goes out of bounds, you're like, yeah.
I love a good block. And I'm not gonna hold you. When you said that, that made me think about the block that I had in Australia, where I literally like packed her shot to the VIP section. No lie. But I have to say steals, only because blocking is timing and that's cool and everything. But it's like with steals, I feel like there's more possessions that I can get, you know what I mean, than a block. Like to get a solid block in the league, if you really like that, you get you about 1 or 2, on a good night. But with steals, I can get me about 3 or 4, 5 if I'm really trying to, be a thief. And it's just something about like the art of it, like just thinking about different ways to steal the ball. Like I'm watching film and I'm like, damn, I could have stole it right there. Like, or you'll like see me in a game and I'll like try to get the ball and I won't because I'll be out of position. I'll just be like, ah. And Coach T will just be like, it's okay, Slam, keep playing. It'll be crazy. But I truly enjoy steals. Like stealing the ball is probably like, it's like still making it. You know what I mean? Like I just want it.
And it leads to offense when, especially like when you blocking shots, sometimes the offensive team gets the ball back, especially if they're out of bounds. But steals lead to possessions. It leads to heightness, like your team, like momentum. So I understand. And it is an art because I can't steal. I can block a shot, but getting, especially if you playing one-on-one, and when y'all be like tipping it like from the back and then like stealing it, like DJ Carrington used to always do that at Stanford. I used to be like, how did she do that? It's a true art. So wow. I understand now. I understand the way you broke it down like that. Okay, because I was expecting blocking shots. You be posting your block shots and they're magnificent. As a shot blocker, I am in awe. Wow. You look like a volleyball player.
I can't.
Hey, you need to go out there and put on some spandex or something next time.
That's why I didn't play volleyball. I did not want to wear no spandex. Like, how I look? You see my legs? Like, come on. Like, let's keep it a buck here. Like, let's be realistic here, okay? Me and some spandex. Like, come on.
That's what sports it is.
Shoulder, hip, leg ratio. I look like a lollipop or a pencil or anything that has a cylinder body.
I haven't laughed this much on the podcast before, so please excuse me, fans. I am tickled. Okay, this one's a fun question. I think I'm really interested to see who you're going to bring on. Okay, you're playing the game on 2-on-2, but we're not. In order to win the game, it's not offensive points. It's only stops.
Okay.
So who are you bringing on as your teammate?
Do I get to pick just LA or anybody?
No, anybody you want.
Oh man, that That is interesting. You know what? I gotta give some love to my homie because I feel like we would be a dynamic duo. Probably AC. I bring AC on. Alicia Clark.
Great answer. Yes.
Yeah, I bring AC. Only because it's like she's up there. Like when you talk about defensive stoppers, defensive stars in our league, and she's like flies under the radar. You know what I mean? Yes. Nobody really talks too much about her, but you can't forget about her, but you don't talk about her enough. You know what I mean? For like what she did for any team she's on. When she was in Seattle, now she's with Washington, and she's just smart. Like when I was playing against her in Seattle, dude, how literally how are you there? How are you there? How are you making the freaking left hand layup? Everybody knows, like how.
Jeez.
I just think that me and AC would be a crazy duo.
That is yes.
That lateral motion is there. Like we are there. You're not getting past us.
Wow.
I'm not worried about the post up because the person who's dribbling, you're not going nowhere.
You're not gonna get there. Now you're gonna be able to pass it in.
I'm not worried about it.
Magnificent answer once again. I didn't get to play with AC last year, but she was there, rehabbing, and just the way that she studies the game, the way that she studies a scout. Like she actually studies. I know, like when the team give you the shot charts, it'll be like, okay, no, AC's gonna know every single player, what's their hot spot. She's gonna know it. She's gonna know where you're gonna go on in the corner. Oh yeah, she's going left. Then she go on shot, pump fake, and try to go right again. I was like, yo, your basketball IQ is out the freaking ceiling. It is incredible. I was like, okay, now it makes sense. Okay, I understand it now. Yeah. I understand it. You two together, yikes. That's what I'm saying. Yikes. Great answer. Okay, last question. Very important. I got to change it up now because you have a nut allergy. I was going to tell you to rank Chips Ahoy, Nutter Butters, and Oreos, but now we got to take out Nutter Butters.
I would never choose that, but that's enough.
Okay, let me take out one. I got you. The little animal cookies, the ones that are like pink and white with the frosting. Okay, you don't know that one. Okay, what about the ones that you get at the store? They're just white and they have like pink. They're like nice and the fluffiest of cookies. They come like some to do Halloween versions. They do the.
Okay, so we're just gonna tell a little secret here. I growing up was not a huge, and still to this day, a huge sweets person. So if you don't name like the major brands, you're gonna lose me because I don't eat sweets like that. I just recently got introduced to 7-Eleven fresh baked cookies because wow, those are amazing. Have you tried them? Try them.
I have not.
I said 7-Eleven, but you'd be amazed. The fresh baked cookies go crazy in the front.
I'm a little nervous of gas station cookies.
See, here's the thing. Right, I know you're going to say that. But with all that is in the world, you mean to tell me that 7-Eleven cookies, it's not like I'm saying Shell or Chevron or like Speedway. I said 7-Eleven. You know what I mean?
Iconic.
It's not a gas station.
It's not a gas station. They are a store.
Yeah. I'm just saying. Okay. It's Subway. Subway
cookies. Elite.
Okay. Subway be at gas stations.
Touche. You got me. I'm gonna say your answer.
There we go, people. I was just like setting myself up for the lob. Like I'm about to dunk it. As soon as you said that, I had it.
We're just gonna say you ranking 7-Eleven cookies number one. And do they have oatmeal raisin there?
Yep. I mean, I can go grab a pack right now, y'all. I got the pack ready. Got pulled.
You heard it here first. Bird's Eye View, 7-Eleven oatmeal raisin cookies. Go and get them at your local 7-Eleven, y'all, and tell them that Slim sent you. See what happens.
Please.
Well, that was fun. We finished the game portion of the show. I hope you got loose. You ready to answer some interview questions? It's gonna be fun. Yes, sir. Well, we talked a little bit about your Final Four experience with Syracuse.
Yeah.
Talk about just, I want to break down what it's like to go to the Final Four, because I think a lot of fans, they see it. They see, you know, us playing out there, but they don't know the full experience of what it's like to go to the Final Four. Man. So talk about the preparation that goes to it, and then all the way to when you have to play. Where'd you guys play for the Final Four? Where was the Final Four that year?
We were in South Dakota. Was it South Dakota? No, South Dakota was Elite Eight. Final Four was actually, dude, Indiana. We played at the.
That's like one of the 4
Coliseum.
places to choose. Yeah.
We played at, was it Fieldhouse? Yeah, we played at Fieldhouse.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Good old Indiana. That was fun. That was fun. Now, I mean, from what I could remember for real from the Final Four experience, it was just, you get there, like you get on the bus, obviously, you know, you like drive, we're downtown. So like we all had our own hotel, I believe. So each hotel was dressed up to your school. Yes. So it was like Syracuse, Washington, UConn, and Oregon State, right? And then you walk in, they got like band playing and you know, so now like that's playing and it was super loud. But you just get hella love, and obviously Fieldhouse is right down there. So we stayed like right down the block from Steak and Shake. So we was just
I know what that is. Okay.
Yeah, right. Yep. So we just making trips to the mall, Steak and Shake, like kicking in.
Come on, Circle City.
They come through, and then I'd say practices and games was just medium. Yes. Like you are shoved. It's to the point where you have a booth. Like you're sitting in a booth in a box, and they come to you and they just hit you with question after question after question after question. And mind you, you don't probably been asked the same question 3 different times, 3 different ways from 3 different people. Yes. So it's like you just find a new way to say the same thing for like hours and hours and hours, to the point where you just end it like, and as I said from the last interview, like refer to that statement, please. So, I mean, it was dope though. And that was my, that was my first year back from my ACL tears.
Yep.
So it was like, just to think about it was just a lot to trying to wrap my head around, because while we had the Final Four, I'm trying to figure out how to keep my brace up. You know what I mean? Like the 2 different extremes. And then to know that that was my first year back, like that push, that grind was my first year back. And anybody who has had injuries know that that first year back is not the easiest year back. Like that is probably the hardest year, because you're battling whether you took enough time, or do you take, you know what I mean? Or did you wait too long, too much? Like this is hella questions that just go on in your head. And then to, at the end of that, go to the national championship, I'm like, the TikTok was like, ting, ting, ting. Like just like hit my knee like ting, ting, ting. And you good? You know, like I just remember just looking at my knee a lot during that whole process, because I'm like, how? But
okay, let's pause there, because when I was doing my research on you, I know you got injured, but I didn't know it was 2 back-to-back ACLs. And so for you to get to a Final Four, like how empowering, like, like I knew I would have cried some tears of joy, like, man.
Oh, yeah. I cried in South Dakota. You can look it up. When we won, we played Tennessee to go to the Final Four in the Elite Eight. And you could, I had an interview, dude. I had the ugly face, like the ugly cry, because they gave us a 7% chance. Like everybody did their votes, and we had 7% chance to get to the Final Four. You know, so it was one of those things where, and 7 is one of my favorite numbers. It's one of my birthday numbers. Like that was my
number. Draft number.
Drafted. Yes. You know what I mean? So it's the number I got drafted. It's the number I wore when I first got to the league the first 3 years. So for me to see that 7, I was like, that's all we need. I was like, 7%, that's all we need. Like they doubting us. We all looked at each other and knew that the people in this room, if we know we want to get what we want to get done, it's going to take us. It ain't going to take them. So what we care about what they think. Like we know what team we have. So it was just one of the things where we just looked at each other like, yeah, we got this. And that just made it easier for me to be able to like have trust in my knee, because my teammates had patience with me coming back. Because I had my moments. Yeah, like I had my moments. I had my games. I had my days where I might feel like it ain't with me. or I wasn't up to par, you know, because I go from being like this dominant player to I'm still dominant, but I'm not as dominant as I used to be. I'm showing little bits of explosion, little bits of explosiveness. And this is like through the Final Four run. I'm like, dang, now you want to come like this down? I guess you came at a good time. Better late than never. All right.
I feel you. No, and I feel you on playing with that brace, like, and it's constantly falling down. Like, please, like, and you about to get a fast break or something, and then like your brace like falling down, like, like God darn it, like, and then your leg lock.
Strands of tape around it became a little swag bag real quick.
I feel you. I feel you. There was one time my brace broke mid-game. I'm like, yo, I don't need this thing no more. Here, just play with it. And then like when you feel like so much looser after you play like without a brace versus with a brace, you like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm back to my normal self now.
For sure.
I'm feeling little bunnies without this brace now. The brace like 4 pounds.
No, people don't understand that. And I had like the sleeve hinge, not just the hinge, like the sleeve. Mm-hmm. And I wore leggings. So that jump was sliding up and down the leggings. Like I'm trying to get a grip. And I was like, forget it. I'm gonna just pull the leggings up. This is before the kids started cutting the half of it. Don't give me stuff.
Kids these days, man. Man, we sound old. Look at us.
Yeah, a little bit.
Who would have thought? But I completely understand injuries, man, and the mindset that you have coming back from it is so hard. Like you said, like, did I come back too fast? Am I doing enough? Like, is this too much for my knee? Especially when your knee starts to hurt again, like, shoot, like, I messed it up again.
The new things start to hurt. Not even your knees. New things that be hurting. You be like, what's this? What is this? Like, it's crazy.
I feel you. I feel you all the way. That was me all last year. I'm like, yo, like, it's hurting, but I just had surgery on it. Like, ain't supposed to be feeling better. Mm-hmm. And it's like, it's just a complete process in your head that you have to fight through. And then, like you said, it's beautiful patience from your teammates that allow you to become the player that you are, you know, in the midst of trying to get better. Like, they knowing that you're trying to work your butt off. And some days the body just don't have it. It just doesn't have it. So I completely understand. And shout out to y'all getting to not only the Final Four, like we said, the national championship, which is a whole nother level. It's a whole nother experience. I only got to experience the media for that first day. So y'all got it back to back. Y'all was in there, and congratulations. And you guys had Alexis Peterson. You had the Day Twins.
Yeah, man.
So hey, y'all had a squad.
We had a squad.
You did. And it was fun to watch.
It was squad shoot, man. You named them. Brianna Butler, like my class I came in with. That was a
name them.
Brianna Butler, Cornelia Fondren, Taylor Ford, Maggie Morrison. Like we had some hitters. Like we had some hitters in that class alone. I was sad when like they left for sure. I was sad because I stayed that extra year.
Yeah.
I mean, I had made that was great. But
did you feel a little lonely, like as a fifth year, when like your whole class left and then you were there, or?
Nah, because we were because you got to think, like in college, you're with a unit.
Yep.
Usually you're going to be most closest to that unit that comes in after you.
Yes.
So like for us, well, for me, like, yeah, I had my own little thing and I had my own little corner, but by that time I had a mentee in Gabby Cooper. I had a friend in Jasmine Nuaje, and she went there. Isis, I knew from back home. And then, all the other little ones that were on the team. I damn near hosted everybody's visit. So, it's like.
Oh, then you were the fun teammate. That's what that means. I too was like that. When the coaches keep asking, hey, if I'm getting the free food.
I was 10-1, and I don't really count the one, but we're going to count it because I
10-1?
10-1.
You was hosting that many?
I hosted that many. And mind you, like, this has been since sophomore year. So, like, I done seen everybody. Like, everybody that, you know what I mean? Like, I have hosted. So, yeah, it's crazy. I've had some wild hosting stories.
We'll say those for another podcast.
Yeah, that's another one, man.
I got some too, and we was hiding them from the coaches.
I'm just telling you this. One kid, she missed breakfast and like some interview for a school, coach called me and I'm like, listen, I don't know what to tell you, dude. She lay on my couch right now. You want FaceTime? I'm like, I don't know what to tell you, Coach Kelly. Like, she down bad.
I feel you. I had a my teammate, she was a freshman coming or a sophomore coming in my senior year, and like a professional drinker.
Oh,
professional, like knew how to drink, knew she was a professional partier, went out with her older brothers and stuff like that. So like I'm looking at her like, yo, you just slow down. We gotta go to dinner afterwards. She's like, I'm fine, Bird. Just chill. It's like, girl, if you go there blasted, I'm gonna get in trouble.
right.
But she was taking the shots back. I took her to a little party. Like, she was drinking, but like I said, she was professional. And when we got to dinner, she acted just fine. But Lord, my heart, I'm like, yo, you gotta slow down.
Okay.
You get me in trouble. Like,
that's different. Yeah, I ain't run into that. Nope.
yeah, I've had that. And yeah, she was like that all throughout college. So I won't say her name, but she functioned.
Yeah.
But she's better now, and she figured it out. But yeah, she was a partier, and I was nervous. So I completely understand when it comes to hosting. It's a serious responsibility. I don't think people understand.
It's a skill.
It truly is, because you bring in people, you gotta be yourself, but you also gotta hype up the school. You gotta hype up your teammates, talk good about the coaches, even though they might have just yelled at you. Like, yeah, they're a lovely coach.
Yeah, look, I keep it real. Every person that has had me, I kept it a buck with them. Like, I didn't hide. I said, if you got questions, ask me. If you want to know the answer, I said, but do realize, like, this is college. You know, I think some kids, especially nowadays, don't get me started. Like, the work ethic and the expectation that kids have on what college is and what college is supposed to be, or what it looks like, is insane. Like, the work ethic is for all the wrong reasons. Like, the intentions behind it is just like, it's just so, I feel, media, social based, you know, like a popularity contest. And politics, obviously politics is going nowhere when it comes to sports, right? But it's like, geez, like, let the narrative be the narrative. Like, why force upon a narrative that isn't there? Like, there's so many other stories, there's so many other great people, and we force upon ourselves like a certain way of a basketball player, or this is what you have to do or be to get a limelight or get some type of shine. Like, why? If they're good, they're good. Point blank.
Wisdom right there. Bam. Y'all heard it here first from Slim. That's
what
I'm saying.
My gosh.
Let it be what it is.
For real.
All right. Well, let's transition. We talked all about college. We talked all about the orange. How do you guys, what you guys' mascot?
We're fruit. We're fruit, yeah.
Okay, you're fruit. Well, I'm a tree, kind of.
I'm an orange woman. So I'm an orange woman. So
all about the orange women. Well,
it's crazy. I used to be in elevators, and you know how we both have the S for our school, right?
The same S. It's the same block S. Yep.
Yours is white, ours is orange. Yes. We would get on elevators, and people would ignorantly say with their chest, "Oh my gosh, you play for Stanford," and I'm like, I wouldn't even been mad if they'd be like, "Oh, you play for the men's team," like men's Syracuse, but like Stanford, bro, like
right here, man, it's
orange. They're red, like.
Well, shout out to the orange women. And I will never mistake. The S is, come on, it's completely different. It's completely different. We're completely different schools, East, West, whatever.
You can have it.
Well, let's transition into getting drafted.
Okay.
You finished up with Syracuse. You're getting drafted. What was that day like? You were not at the draft.
No.
So what was your day like? Because honestly, I think I would have had the experience that you had. Because
you know,
what our draft was like?
I was gonna say, I'm actually glad that I didn't get invited. I'm not even gonna lie. let's just get into it real quick, okay? Let's just get into it, because I saw the tweet and you said it was giving our draft class, and when I tell you, Bird, I was in tears because that tweet made me remember how crazy it was. Like, do you know my name was the only name that got glitched? So as we're watching, you can look it up on YouTube. Like, when they call my name, who was the commissioner at the time? I call her Auntie.
Lisa Borders.
Lisa Borders, right? So Lisa Borders is, at the table and she's going for the 7th pick and she has my dress. She's like, with the 7th pick, the Atlanta Dream select. And everybody looking at it was so funny because so I'm sitting, all right, so pause that, right? So that
okay.
So before that moment, all right, everybody find out all right, boom, we get drafted. All right, I go home. I leave school, I go home, I get my hair done. I'm with my loved ones, my boys drive down from Syracuse. My aunt came up from the DMV area, like my grandma, everybody. So it was really special. And my mom cooked all my favorite foods. We had dinner, we all chilling, we watched the draft. So boom, now we're back at that spot, right? So now everybody is sitting, on the floor, very much giving Black strong family, right?
Yes.
And so I got my phone out and I'm holding it to the screen and the glitch happened and everybody screaming and confused at the same time. They I'm like, shut up. I gotta see if they said my name. And then my name come across the screen and I was like, oh. So everybody started going crazy, it was crazy because I'm like, how am I the only name that don't get sound? Let alone, you know what I mean? I might have hit you getting up if they were to call my name because that's how the seats were set up. The biggest thing that threw me off of watching our draft, I'm not even gonna lie, was the boom mic. The boom mic, the boom mic.
It was so tight. And then they had a nerve to have a 5-man camera crew try to surround us through those tables. A hot mess of a day.
The picnic tables. But we're going to stop because we don't know how much of this we can really get on.
I'm still mad. I just thought we all deserved. And now hearing that you back home, you also were
watching it. I was really sitting in my house with my mom, even my mother. Mothers, they was like, ooh. My mom was sitting there. She was like, I don't know. She's like, I don't know, baby. You might have won with having it here. And I was like, Mom, you're right. You're absolutely right. I think I won. I won draft night. If who wasn't there, they won draft night because that right there was interesting.
You certainly did win draft night. I always felt bad for Kelsey because she had no idea. They gave us no direction. She just heard her name. She's looking up, standing around do I go somewhere? Do I stand here?
I think I remember watching that.
And she's just so everyone's like, okay, so that's how we do it. And poor her being the number 1 draft pick and having to go through that. It was just a crazy experience. I know they were trying to think outside the box.
But they put you guys in a box. I don't know how.
And it was a box.
But hey, it's a good try.
But hey, we got drafted. It was one of the best days of our life. One of the most confusing times, really, with the whole draft. But
the great thing to tell our kids one day, I'll tell you that much.
Absolutely. And I can't wait for them to watch it. And I can't wait for them to see our outfits because now I love looking back at the draft picks 10 years ago, looking at Sales fedora.
Man, some of these fits. Woo!
I feel like our class was a class right before when they had changed. Really, I feel like our class kind of followed the rules, with what we're supposed to wear, business casual.
Yeah.
And after that, it was shenanigans.
Why not? Spice it up.
And that it has been a fashion show ever since. I actually love it. So I'm ready to see what we look back 10 years ago. We just gonna clown ourselves with what I wore because I got my dress from Kohl's. Minimal effort went into my draft night. My mom's like, I picked you up something. Hey,
I'll tell you. It's one night. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to say it's one night. It is one night. But if we're talking about being realistic when it comes to money too, is come on, if you can get some wares out of it, sure. But if you just literally buying it for one night, call it up. What I'm mad at. Call it up.
Dress it up. Dress it down.
Dress it down.
I love it. Well, you won draft night. I did not know about that. The glitch, that's crazy. I don't even know how I would respond. I was like, yeah. Wait, did you?
You literally hear me in the background like, shut up, shut up, shut up. It's like, all right, we good now.
Well, 2017, seventh overall pick to the Atlanta Dream. Talk about your rookie season because you were a part of the all rookie team. So you had a pretty magnificent rookie team, and you played with some legends in the game. Like I was looking up who was on that roster again, and you played with Sancho, like Sancho Little. You were playing with Mati Ajabon, like legends in the game. Like I can keep naming them. I think I'm missing one. Who else were some of your vets?
Oh man, I can't think of her name. But she was very tall, skinny. I can't think of her name, man. She was an OG too.
Oh, and she was a Jamaican, correct?
Yes.
Okay, yes. I forget her name, but I know you're talking about. And you had Ty. You had Ty Young on there. Yeah. So you had some, especially in the guard game. Like, so what was that like playing with them?
It was dope. I'll say it was dope. I had some pretty chill vets, especially with me being like the rambunctious one that I was. They definitely taught me or like showed me indirectly. They might not like said too much, but they showed me how to be a vet, like how to carry yourself. And when I got to LA too, like I learned how to be a vet on another level. But we talking about Atlanta, man, like growing up there, them first 3 years out of college, like baby face, just stripped naked, like I'm fresh, I'm raw out there. And I'm just trying to learn as I go because you got to think it was a perfect situation for me. Andrew McCautry was sitting out that year. So that's 3 spot.
Yep.
Like that 3 spot was kind of open. So I knew I was going to fight for a position. And eventually I began to start, and it was one of those things where I had Coop as my coach, and I was very thankful for him because he understood me as a player and he pushed me as a player because I was so one-dimensional. Well, I was putting myself in one dimension, like, oh, score. And he's like, nah, you could play somebody's defense really good. So he will always say, you remind me of myself. And then I go back and I look at film and I hear stories about it. And I'm like, oh, okay, like this whole two-way player thing.
Yeah.
So just being there and being under those guards and learning to play offense and learning how to play somebody's defense, it was just, I was lucky, honestly. I was really lucky, like to have the certain vets that I had because you don't really hear a lot about the vets that I had.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Correct.
And a lot of those, like they did their job and they did it very well, and that's how they were able to stay in the league as long as they did. So I was very happy to have those type of vets. Not to say that like all the other ones are bad because they're not, but I was very happy to have them because I feel like learning that early kind of helped me with like where I am now. Because it's like, oh, I've been seeing this. Like I'm just doing what they doing now.
Man, that was gonna be my next question. Like, what advice do you give as a vet now? We're old. Yikes. What advice do you give to the rookies? You got a couple of rookies on your team. So what advice do you give them when they come to you struggling?
I mean, obviously it varies, right, with what they're struggling with. But most times I get rookies or I get individuals who oftentimes try to control things that they can't control. So especially as a rookie, you're worried about everybody and everything because you're just trying to figure out how to stay afloat. Like you're almost in survival mode, and that's a real thing because number one draft picks are not number one, but first round draft picks are getting cut from teams now. Yeah. So, there is no guarantee. So it's one of those things where I try to remind like the young ones to just control what you can control and just always try to find a way to keep growing. And the last one will probably be like become adaptable. Like in any situation that you're in, like become adaptable. Like no lie, like this season, I'm playing the one a lot more. Like I'm holding the ball a lot more. And now that's uncomfortable sometimes, especially when I'm turning that ball over, but I have to also give myself grace to understand that, hey, this is not a normal position. Now you will learn to master it, but give yourself some grace, man. You trying to figure it out, and Lord, I don't know if I would have did that if I was like younger. Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like it definitely comes with age, but it's just, you gotta stay adaptable, like be able to understand that you're going to forever change. you're gonna forever change. So just learn how to like go with the punch. Like still stay you, but still go with the flow, because sometimes what you think is best ain't what's best for the team at the moment. People forget that.
Know your role.
Basically. Know your role. And not even just know your role, accept it. Because people can know their role and not want to accept it. Because there's a lot of people who is like, hey, that is not your role, but you still gonna shoot. You still gonna, okay.
I'm gonna start saying that now. I'm not gonna say know your role now. I'm gonna say accept your role.
Accept your role.
Accept your role. Big difference. No, completely. And like you said, you had vets that accepted their role. Maybe they wanted to be that top scorer. Like I remember I was watching the interview with Ty Young, and she was saying, like, when I came in, like I was trying to score, and her coach put her in this role. Like, no, like we need you to get stops, rebounds, and I think it was like mid-range shots. That's what you need you to do. And when she tried to do more, come back out. That's not what we need. That's not what we need. I know you can do that, but that's not what we need right now. Yeah. And man, that has kept her and allowed her to stay in the league for 10 plus years.
Yeah.
So it's all about, that's what I'm trying to teach these young bucks these days, man. You just gotta accept your role. It might not be what you want or what you think you can do, but man, like when you win the championship or when you get wins, oh, you're gonna like that role.
Mm-hmm. You ain't gonna care about it no more.
It takes, like you said, it takes time, it takes maturity, and it takes your grace for yourself. I think I learned that deep into my fourth, fifth year, allowing myself grace. Once I gave myself grace, I had so much more fun with the game.
Man.
I used to come home crying. Like, man.
You and me both.
How many?
My third year, I was in the car. Like, I didn't even pull up from State Farm, and I'm in the car. Like, boo, and sobbing in front of my friends.
Third year.
Yeah, I'm telling you, third year was a whirlwind. Like,
I was in the trenches.
Me too. Man, I might as well get in with you. Like, man.
The trenches, man. Like, I wasn't playing. We was losing, and then when you go in and you make a mistake because you get limited time.
Man, I'm telling you, that was us.
Back out here.
That was me, bro. I swear, I think I stayed in the most shape because I rode that bike during the game more than I played. But I promise you, I rode that bike more than I played in the game. I added some miles. I wish I wore a whoop then, because I would have had me a good amount of miles on that bike. But I'm thinking I could run faster than the refs. I started having the games with myself. Like, the end of that bench was dangerous. Like, don't come down to that bench. We was having fun. We would cheer our teammates on and everything, and then we'd be like, we got to the point where like we knew when we was going in and out. I'd be like, hey, get ready now.
It's your time.
It's 2 minutes. 3, 2, what happened? Come on. I was like, Superman. I swear, I had to make some joy of it, man. I had to make some type of fun, like find some type of fun in it, because if you don't, you would drown. Like, it is so easy. You see it in other players. Like, some of them players that don't got that pop anymore, that pizzazz, and they just staying afloat to, like, just play. And it's like, oh, where's the love? Like, where's the honesty behind playing? Like, just honestly, just honoring the game.
Yeah. Gotta make fun. Well, those years humbled us. That year for us, it humbled us. But you know what? That 2020 bubble season, we came back anew. You had a quite dominating season in the bubble. You were in LA at that time. That was your first year with LA, correct?
Yeah, in the bubble.
Yep, in the bubble. Lord have mercy, the bubble. That's a whole nother conversation.
Ooh, another one.
One day I'm just gonna have a bubble episode.
You should have like a bubble round table.
I should. I very well should.
Like a bubble round table, and get like from all different aspects. Because get like a team that left early, a team that stayed, like mix
some teams that left early thought they won the bubble. wait. I remember the Indiana Fever was hype.
All right. I'm gonna keep that one to myself.
That's my time. That's my time. But no, I mean, you dominated the bubble. And do you think that third year, going into your fourth year, that impacted the way you played, the way that you shaped your mindset? Because I know that definitely helped me when I went to bubble season playing with Minnesota, like remembering all that pain that I went through. I'm like, man, I'm approaching it a completely different way.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to this season, no expectations on myself. The only expectation I have on myself is I'm gonna work hard every single day. That was my mindset. And that allowed me to play more freer, and I had a successful season for me. So was it the same for you?
Yeah, I think it was one of those things where it was like, all right, I'm not gonna lie, like let's just keep it a beat. I wanted to get out of there. Like I wanted to get out of LA. I mean, out of LA, out of Atlanta.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? After this third season, it was a lot. Like I don't know if I want to be here anymore. Off the simple fact that it's just I felt like I wasn't being used properly. Like I wasn't, and sometimes that happens, and you just got to figure out again how to adapt and make it the best of your, of your experience. And I get to LA, and I get to have, vets like Candace, NECA, and TRP, and and Raquana Williams, like, and I got Simone Augustus, like, as a teammate, and it was one of those things. Oh yeah, and Chelsea, like, how can I, I have some heavy hitters coming into it. And I think what was cool and what allowed me to be able to kind of groove a little more easily into a new situation, especially with it being in the bubble. This is my first time. Our training camp was on FaceTime, on Zoom, right? So my first time meeting everybody was on the bus at the airport. I done played against y'all, but I never had y'all as teammates. So now I go from being enemies to now we cool. You know what I mean? And I think the biggest thing that was like huge for me was everybody that showed their like want to play with me. Like NECA was like, man, look, Slim, I'm glad you're here. Like I've been wanting to play with a player like you. And I'm like, well, what's a player like me? You know what I mean? You start to hear these words because that last year is still burnt in your head. Like you're still trying to deprogram and desensitize yourself from all of that. And like, let's call it what it is. It's like some is PTSD, some is trauma, some is, like it is what it is. Like I went through a really hard time in that year, and not a lot of people know that, and that's okay. But everybody goes through it, So it's like when I went to LA, I'm like, man, this is a breath of fresh air. Like I'm in a whole nother city. Let alone let's just call it the obvious. Like I go from Atlanta to LA. Like I just was in the two best spots you could possibly be in to live,
Yeah.
And I was just happy. I was just lucky. Agent called me, hey, you got to trade. I said, all right, that's fine. Where? And he's like, LA. Pack my bags. We out. Where we going? Florida. Say no more. I don't even care. I want another team. Like, let's just start anew. And that just gave me the boost to be like, all right, let's create a new Slim almost. That's how I kind of approached it. Like, let's create a new Slim. Let's see what you can make of yourself here, because who you are in Atlanta, that's not the person that you're going to be here. It's a whole nother city, whole nother program, whole nother vibe. Like you need to figure out who you are here, who you are going on in life, in your career. Like them first three, and these next three. Now it's like, all right, let's finish out this last year. I like what I'm becoming. Let's see what the next three got for me.
I love that. Because I feel like I can relate to you. That third year, man, like it broke me down. Like, I used to be like, man, do I love basketball still?
Man, I'm trying to tell you.
You question yourself. You question your ability. You question your passion for the game. Like it just breaks you down mentally. Like, yo, like what am I doing wrong? Like it is tough. And then you go to that fourth year, and it's such a breath of fresh air. But still, sometimes you have that PTSD. Sometimes you get in the game, like, and I miss you. I'll be like, okay,
you don't even look. You just be like. You just don't even look. You just keep your head down. I swear, man.
Oh man, like man, it's fine. You're good, man. You're good. And so, man, I know. That bubble season, it was freaking treacherous living there. But the breath of fresh air that you felt with basketball, like I know that's what allowed me to like semi-enjoy the bubble was, being with my team and just allowing just a new identity for myself, allow myself to be free and play the game that I actually love to play. And not worry about anything else, but just having fun. Because if you ain't having fun, man,
it's hard. That's what I will say. I will not trash the bubble that hard because in the bubble, that's where garlic salt and sarson formed. Me and Sid's relationship.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I can't completely trash the bubble because me and Marie Gulich actually came over in that trade with Kalani Brown. So me, Marie, and Sid all lived in the house. They went to college together. Me and Marie played 2 years together. So it was one of those things where I found my love for cooking again, being there. Yes. So it was some great things that came out of the bubble, some amazing things that came out of the bubble. But man, we know that bubble was not pretty. Okay, that's it.
Well, we all know Sid. Sid's a near and dear friend of the show. She's been on a couple of times. So shout out to Sid. Shout out to Marie. I played against her at Oregon State. And I was going to mention that your cooking skills, man. Like, I've seen you on Instagram and it looks delightful. And especially when you're overseas. Yeah. Do you cook more overseas than when you're in the States?
Yeah, I could see me cooking a little more overseas than in the States right now. I'm on a sabbatical because I cooked it up in Australia.
You did.
Yeah, man. And everybody here, like the team, somebody put me on blast yesterday in the training room. Like, yeah, Slim, why you ain't cooked yet? And then our trainer, because, our trainer lived above us in the bubble. She was like, yeah, why you ain't cooked yet? I'm like, woo. Is it hot in here? I'm very particular. It's like, I love my apartment and I love my kitchen, but I don't know, man. It's like my bones, every time I get close to a pot, it'd be like, meow.
I feel you. I completely feel it. Anytime I go overseas, I'm in my chef bag.
I'm in my element. Like, put the hat on me real quick. How they do it? How they girls do it?
You put it on, like, Lord, I might be throwing up. Dang, for the signs. Don't hurt me, y'all. I'm just doing something else. But no, I feel you. Like when I'm in the States, I'm like, man, I'm so tired. You're in the gym all day. I don't feel like cooking. We go overseas. Hey, what we making tonight? What's the mood tonight with the food? What's one of your favorite meals to cook?
I'd probably say pastas and sauces.
Oh, you create your own sauces?
Yeah, my next goal is to like make my own pasta too. But for that's now, easy. I like making I have my red sauce down packed from scratch. My Alfredo sauce from scratch. My vodka sauce from scratch. Man, like let me tell you, I had this red pepper sauce. I had a grill on my balcony in Australia, and I brought a blender. All of that stuff is over there. So best believe when I go back to Australia for another season, I'm going to go get my stuff. I got a little golf putter there, everything. Like I made that place my home. Okay. So that's why I think my body is like, no, because the scheduling I had, like I was cooking every day.
Yeah. No, I feel you. And you have a lot of free time in Australia, correct?
Yes. Here, obviously that May schedule I'm still trying to recover from May. So
I feel you, man. And the league is just tiring. It's tiring. Like the schedule, like you might only practice for 2 hours, but you're in the gym for 5.
Swear you're there 3 hours before and you leave in about an hour and a half after because you're taking an ice bath, getting some treatment, taking your time trying to catch up and talk about what happened in practice that we couldn't talk about right there.
Now you look like you like me and you like to chit chat after practice and you just be talking to everybody.
Nah, not really. Like I'll have my days where like I move slow so I could catch a conversation or two, but I really trying to be up out of there. I'm really the ones that like you gotta catch because I be getting up out of there so fast. Like I do my work. Like don't get me wrong, like I do my work.
I got you.
My pre-work, my post-work, all that stuff. But yesterday I got in trouble because that was probably the quickest I've ever got up out of there. To the point where I left my flip-flops. They was like, yeah, we knew you left because you left your flip-flops. I'm like, yeah, I had to go.
Got a blast.
All right.
Philly. And I don't think a lot of people understand how tiring it is to be in the league. Like even a person that plays 20, 30 minutes to a person that plays 2 minutes, like it's exhausting. You're in the gym all day. It's a tough league to be in. And the traveling makes things just 20 times more tiring. So I completely understand. And yeah, especially y'all on the furthest of the coast. When you got to travel to New York, Washington, Connecticut. I can imagine how hard it is. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to the Sparks. Like I said, y'all are my favorite team. Growing up in Bakersfield, California, the Sparks have always gonna be my favorite team. I love going to games. I love the environment. I went to see y'all play. I'm a fan of yours. I'm a fan of defense. I'm a fan of shot blockers. So
well, I got you. Now that I know, like if you're in the building, like I'm a salute you.
Hey, yes,
sir. If I'm
salute
you, I get a block shot because I plan on getting a lot more.
Yes, sir. Well, how do you guys feel like you're doing the season? I know season comes with a lot of ups and downs for every team.
Yeah.
And I see you guys build a momentum, as the All-Star break has finished, and I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys finished up.
Yeah. I think we're in a good spot. Obviously, with this season, I feel like you can't take losses too hard on the chin.
Yeah.
Because of all the variables. Obviously, you make decisions in the games that lead to a win or a loss, and it collects over time, right? It's not ever like one possession. Like it's possessions over time and when it happened, right? That led to that loss. So it's one of those things where it's a learning experience, also with the learning curve, because people see who we have on our team and they don't see how long we've been together.
Yes.
What they're asking for, you don't get most times until like now towards the end of the season. You know what I mean? Like you don't really start to get that gel and that bond that you're asking 8 new individuals to have.
Yes.
Alongside with we're having games, people are in, people are out, people are sick, people are not. It's so many variables. The only thing that we literally can control is how we take care of our bodies, how we come to work every day. And when we get on that court, the opportunity we have, we take full advantage of it. Yes. Everything else is out of our control. Like, I didn't think I was going to miss 4 games. And I did. You know what I mean? Like, that was mind-blowing to me. I'm like, I get sick and I miss 4 games. And it's like...
missing 4 games in WNBA is like...
It's
a lot of games.
It's a lot of games. Like, because whereas like in the NBA, 4 games to us is like 15 games to them.
Yes.
So I can't miss 4. Yeah. Like I'm trying to lead the league steals here, So I'm like, gosh, this is hurting my pockets to get them steals.
Yes.
So because I'm on a mission, man. Like I'm on a mission. I'm trying to do some things. So it's like,
say, I feel you, and I'm rooting for you every single game. You got it. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. You got this. And Sabrina, she's rooting the campaign. She is head of steam, rooting for the campaign.
We are going to run this clip back. I didn't say what it was, but I'm just telling you, I'm thinking it right now. In fact, I can tell you. I'm trying to, and what's crazy? This is what I'm going to tell you because you're going to get excited, right? I'm trying to lead this. I asked for a stat yesterday, and I was like, has anybody led the league back-to-back in steals per game and total? Guess who was the only other person?
Who was that?
Catch. Catch. Catch was the only one to do it. I mean, not the only one. I forgot who else he said before her, but after her was Catch, and Catch was the only one. And this was probably like in 09, I think he said, or something like that.
Long time ago.
Yeah. But she led the league back to back. So I'm like, I'm trying to do that.
Yeah.
And she got depoys before. So, and I do remember vividly asking her, and I still have to connect with her. But I know when we were in the bubble, I was like, Catch, let me get your number. Like, I want to pick your brain one day about,
she'll do it too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to pick your brain about defense. Like, how do you look at defense? How do you read defense? How do you make them do, So, yeah. So we're going to run it back. When I do it, I'll be like, hey, Birdie, roll the clip.
Hey, I got you. Say less. Say less. We're going to clip this up. My people are going to clip this up and we're going to post it. Hey, big time. Big time on the podcast. You heard it here first. Back to back. Most steals in the league per game. Total.
Yes, sir.
And total. Yes. Big time. Yes, sir. Bird's eye view. Well, let's transition. Last question. What's been your favorite place to play overseas?
Man, that's hard.
I mean, I know you're a big fan of Australia.
I am, but I will have to give it to Spain. I will have to give it to Girona because I have a family over there. Like my guys at the river, shout out to my guys at the river. I love y'all. Danny, David, Alex, like Sophie, the whole gang, man. Like now I have to clip this because I need to send it to them because I miss it so much. Like I legit cried when I left them. I traded out to get a bigger check and a better playing opportunity in Turkey. But man, I like Girona, the fans, the city. Have you ever been to Girona?
I have. I played there
Okay,
once.
so you know, so I live in the old town. So I live
gotcha.
I lived right in the center of the old town.
Oh wow.
There's like the first bridge and then like all the rest of them goes
Yes.
to the city. So I lived right there. And the river was right around the corner from my apartment. I could hear the bell, the cathedral bells every Sunday, every Saturday, like
beautiful.
Every hour on the hour. It wasn't beautiful in the beginning because I was like, what is this? But then, you know, I started to ignore it after a while because it just became a norm. But it was so beautiful. And I got the chance to step outside of basketball world and just become a part of the culture, the city. Like I see the same people every day. I say hello. I go to their shops. I eat. I go shopping. Like I'm spending New Year's like an hour away from my apartment with my boy Alex, like and his family. We just party in the club, like you know. But some people don't do that. They keep themselves in their rooms. They keep themselves, you know. They don't branch out. They don't realize what it's like. Who am I outside of basketball? What do I like? Who do I like? Who do I like to be around? Who do I like to consume my time with outside of basketball? People don't get the chance to do that, and you have to. You have to.
You have to, or overseas will eat you up and spit you out.
A terrible experience. Like you got a bad day in the office. I knew I could go to my boys at the river and I can have a great time because none of them have anything to do with my job.
Yes. Embrace the culture, embrace the city, like meet new people, go out to restaurants, like do it. If you don't, like it will be a miserable experience for you. And I think I've missed that. Playing in Turkey's so big. It's hard to find that place where you can sit down or you can meet new people. Like it's really hard. Like in Hungary, I live in a small town. Everybody knew me. I go to the restaurant. They know what I want to eat. Like I love those experiences. I'm excited to play in Spain. I'm playing in Salamanca, so I'm hearing that's a beautiful city. So I'm really excited for that.
I might see you because you know I'm going to Sopron, so we might see you in EuroLeague.
Oh shoot, yeah. You know what? Whenever you want advice on Hungary, I got you. I played there for 4 years, so hit me up after this pod. We'll do that.
I was gonna say, we definitely when I see you again, we definitely gonna chop it up because
how about each other.
I gotta get you over for dinner next week. Come over for dinner next week. We have a nice little chat. You can see the and everything. So,
say less.
Pasta. You pick the sauce. I got you.
Ooh, I'm so excited! Slim special. I love pasta, so I'm hyped for this. We're gonna have a good chop up session. It's gonna be dope.
Bet.
Well, Slim, that concludes the interview portion. This has been a really fruitful conversation for me. I've enjoyed it and I've chuckled along the way. So it's been great. But before we take off out of here, I know you're a busy person. I gotta ask you, what's your craziest overseas experience?
Oh man, okay. So one of the craziest, I'll keep it PG. So I'll keep it in Spain too. We'll keep it in Spain. Okay. So it got to the point where like I'm so cool with the guys at the river. I'm going in through the kitchen to get in the restaurant after hours because you know they done locked it down. So I'm walking through the kitchen like I'm chilling and counting the money, doing all this stuff, you know, like and the owner loves me. Like he's like, oh yeah, like she can come in here, da da da. You know how overseas owners are. They be like, once they know you play basketball for the city, they be like, everything is yours. So we be just chilling. So we walk over across the street. We go to this bar to go to this club. We playing, we dancing. My friend Sylvie was like, can I wear your jacket? Car keys. Forgot what else was in my pocket, but like car keys. Apple headphones. My headphones was in my pocket. So I'm dancing. She's like, can I use your jacket? I gotta go outside. Because you know, everybody overseas, all they want to do is smoke cigarettes. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, here, go ahead, girl. Like, go ahead, take my jacket. Just don't make it smell like cigarettes. Like, you know. So I get back. She starts dancing. She go outside, come back in. No keys, no headphones. I'm like, mind you, it's like 12 midnight. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm about to walk back to the crib. I can't go home, no keys. I gotta wait till the club is out, Bird. So now I gotta wait till like 2:30 in the morning. We in there, you know, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I'm ready to go. So I go to the club owner and I was like, hey, my keys. If keys come up, I had the old Kappa granddaddy BMW. Like the Mercedes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like the old cat with the gray leather seats. Like, yeah, one of them. So I had that one because it was the only automatic that I could use in Jerome.
Exactly. I need the automatic.
So like I had to use that one. Club gets out. Apparently somebody found my keys, man, brought my keys back to the front. But the only crazy thing is like I had to wait till like 3:00 because then they had to like search through the whole thing and they eventually found them like kicked up in a corner or something. And somebody got them and like brought them back. And I was like, only me. And my boy's like, you can sleep on my couch. I'm like, nah. I need my couch. I had practice the next day. That was the crazy part. I had practice the next morning, so I was hurting in practice. Like, yeah, I got to go home. I need a nap, bro. But that's my PG most crazies.
Hey,
you know, if you've been to Turkey and you've been to Black,
that red hallway.
That red hallway. Everybody knows. That's all I'm gonna say. That red hallway got me. Okay. Red hallway.
Actually, there's another story. Gentle Lavender told a story about Black. So everybody know about that red hallway.
In there. She was there tonight. I almost had to like, man, it was crazy. I can't believe I said that. But like, yeah, like I hit my head on the speaker. Like it was.
Hey, I got a couple stories of Black, so you're not the only one.
Black is dangerous. It'll swallow your whole.
It's wild. I used to post it on my Snap. Everybody be like, uh-oh. I didn't have to post nothing. I just posted the red hallway. Everybody, uh-oh. The shenanigans on tonight.
It's on tonight. Everybody knows about Black Owned Season Turkey. That's a staple. Nah, this is dope.
But no, thank you for being on. This is super dope. I know the fans are gonna appreciate it. Sabri's gonna appreciate that I got somebody from the East Coast. So much love. Tell everybody where we can find you on social media so they can hype you up and go follow you.
Oh man, for sure. Every social media is Britt Bundles with the Z at the end. Except for TikTok. TikTok, it's Bundles with the Z, like Britt Bundles with the Z, but then 15. But yeah, every Twitter is, or you just look up my name, Britt Sykes, and my name should pop up for any of them. But it's Britt Bundles.
Bundles. Say less. And of course, if y'all want to follow me, it's Birds the Word _24 on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to follow the podcast on Twitter, you can follow us at the #1 Bird's Eye View, and on Instagram, birdseyeView.pod. And it's been a lovely show, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Much love, much blessings. Hope you guys have an amazing week. Deuces.